What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of this panel discussion. On the first part of the discussion, we left off with Kareem, and he was basically giving his response to the question. Well, really the complaint that men are more physical when it comes down to choosing the type of woman they want to date. So we need Kareem to go, well, the guys, to go more in depth about what exactly happens with a man when he is in that decision-making stage. So I'll pass the mic back to the guys. We'll start with Kareem, but Kai, you gonna get your floor too.
So, like I was saying, it's like I gave the analogy of tennis, right? It's like good back and forth, and a back and forth is like it's the basic equivalent to like two-way conversation or just two-way communication, right? So if you're dealing someone who's, and I'm going to quantify it in percentages. If you're dealing with someone who's giving you like 30% communication and you're giving 90% communication, like the math don't add up, you know? If you guys are doing 50-50, the math adds up. If you're doing little and she's doing a lot, that don't add up. So it's like, that's how I think men, or me, that's how I gauge it, is like, what am I getting, how much I'm getting from her and how much I'm putting in will let me know and determine how far this can go. If I'm not getting that much, then I know it's only going to stop at a certain point and I can expect so much, and I'm only going to expect so much. If it stops at a further point, then I know that I have probably more responsibility to communicate better. So it's not about the physical, it's more about, like I said, just good communication. Facts.
One of the things I wanted you guys to address, which we were talking about off camera, is I think you touched on it a little bit just now, but what exactly is going through guys' mind, whether it's a heterosexual relationship, whatever, just dating in general, what exactly is it that's going through your mind when you are thinking about getting to know somebody or wanting to date somebody? Because like we were saying, we agree that for guys, they're going off of what they see, not what Kareem was saying. I mean, we know Kareem is different. We know Kareem is different. But a lot of these guys, especially on social media, a lot of these guys, they don't really care much about that. They want to know what you could do in a bed. They want to know, what tricks you could do. That's what we feel like a lot of guys are interested in. Not all, but most. So, Kai, did you have something you wanted to add?
The guys that's probably looking for what they could get in the bed and things like that, those are the ones that's single, want to stay single. They're not looking to progress and commit or make something further with anyone. They just want it right now and just keep it pushing. So I think it's a different caliber of guys, and maybe some females may get hit up with those ones. It could be off of what they portray in the pictures. Because, I mean, yeah, like you said, we may look at the physical and go after the physical, even though most of us say we don't. It's like a both. We look at the physical like, all right, it's there, but then it's like, we still want that intellect too. So if we don't get the intellect, then it's like, oh, we could smash shorty and then I'm on.
Can I add something? Mm-hmm. And I like that you brought up a visual platform, because it's like you can only gauge somebody so much from Instagram. So, and it's a very physical platform. It's like you're seeing everyone on their best behavior. It's kind of like a fake resume,
their
right?
Highlights.
So it's like, okay, you're gonna see Shorty in Tulum, and she's gonna be on her summer body goals in her greatest bikini. Of course, you're gonna think about smashing.
Catch her at the grocery store.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no.
Photoshop.
You feel me? It's
Filters.
A no-brainer.
Like, hello.
So of course, when I go shoot in the DM, it's gonna be on something physical or it's gonna be on something lighthearted. But if I met you in the world and saw that you were a real person, then I get to understand your mind a little bit more. And then I could probably gauge like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is someone I don't want to engage with just because off of where she is and where I am. But if it's off of a bunch of if it's off of a bunch of photos, like, I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know you from the other 10 photos that I like. It's all the same thing to me.
Oh, she catfishing. I ain't even really her. Somebody old.
Exactly.
Posting like that's her. But okay, I have a scenario for you guys, and obviously I'm starting with the girls since y'all had the floor just now. All right, girls. Scenario. If a guy tries to talk to you and you aren't interested, is it okay for him to talk to your homegirl? If so, do you tell her that he tried to talk to you, or do you keep it to yourself?
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, like especially if you can see that she's pretty excited about it. I don't really see why you want to go and damper her day. Like, oh yeah, he tried to talk to me too. Like,
I think so. The thing with that scenario, I think, and I don't know if it's an age group thing or if it's just like an ego thing when women do decide to tell you. And I think it's a mix because this has happened to me before, like so many times where, say for an example, like a guy, and I'm not even talking about in person, it could just be on social media. Like somebody who's mutual friends, you met maybe a college friend, whatever, like say they'll DM that person and we're together when they try to DM me. First thing they want to say, oh girl, do you know he tried to talk to me. He was blowing up my phone, everything, blah, blah, blah. And in the guy's defense, 9 times out of 10, he probably just put like a heart under her post, or he probably just, reacted to her story. Sometimes it's really just like the littlest things, but I feel like some women, they allow that to eat at their ego and they be like, girl, he tried to talk to me.
some women cannot handle like men just being like attracted to them in their DMs or something. It's like some women can take it and like go like, okay, yeah, like another man in my DM.
Yeah, like, cool. All right, he hit me
but
up,
like
whatever.
Other women, like they like supersede with that information. Like they just take it and it succumbs to them, and they just, that's their end all be all is Instagram likes, and
that's all what some women have is Instagram
and insecurity.
And even going back to what Kareem was saying, like the whole social media, everybody's putting their best forward on social media, so you don't even really know if, like, even all of these Instagram models and these influencers, and I'm not throwing shade, this is just the reality, like a lot of these people that you see post, and I mean the point of the Instagram is the filters, the effects, and everything else. Of course everybody's gonna post what looks the best to them. Like when you go on vacation, you're posting your best angles. But I want to ask the same questions to the guys because for some reason I feel that the response is always a little bit different. I was actually kind of expecting for y'all to say that y'all would tell the girls, but we know now the type of girls who would do that. But guys, so if you found out that, all right, so it's actually sort of a different scenario. So if you found out that someone that you were talking to that you didn't end up working out with, if you find out that they're dating your homeboy or your homegirl, do you tell them? Like at this point, they're probably like in a relationship. Like, do you tell them that y'all had something and it didn't work out, or do you keep it to yourself?
I'm telling. I'm telling. Like, I mean, no, I'm telling.
Yeah. So why for you would you tell?
Because, I mean, if we talked and it didn't work out, because I mean, how that looks? You're talking to my boy now, and we all hang together and everything. You had an attraction for somebody like, you got an attraction for the bro. Like you smashed the homie.
And I don't feel messy to you. That's just like you feel like you're being an honest friend to tell him. Okay. What about you, Kareem?
How friends are? How like what's the threshold?
This your homeboy.
This is my day. Okay,
this your homeboy,
my homeboy,
and
like,
you probably haven't seen him in a while because maybe he was on vacation. Not vacation, but he was away for a while or whatever.
That's not my homeboy then.
No,
what are you talking about?
No,
like,
this your homeboy.
The bro is the
Stick
bro.
with the scenario, Kareem. This your homeboy.
The bro.
This your homeboy, and
this your ace.
If it's my ace, you talking about my ace, like my brody.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say for an example, he didn't go with. This is your homeboy, and maybe he was dating somebody. He just never gave you much information because he was just testing it out. But now you find out 6 months later that
this is the person he was talking about.
This is who he been talking about all this time.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely telling him.
But are you telling him like on some like?
I'm telling him just to like so that we're cool. Okay. It's like not
to break it up.
Not to just be like
I kind of have something like that. So a friend of mine, somebody I talked to in the past, someone I know now talks to them, or they've been dating for like years, 10 plus. I mean, but it was out there that, and they said, well, do you mind? And I was like, I mean, y'all grown, y'all did it already, so I don't care, but I would.
I think in a scenario like that, I think it's important that you do tell your friend. And here's why. One, because if you don't tell your friend, it comes off like, and he does find out and it's not from you, then it's kind of like, he looking at you or she looking at you kind of like, yo, why didn't you just tell me? Even if the situation wasn't that deep, I just feel like you kind of owe, if that's your friend and if that's your ace, like if that's your homegirl, your homeboy, I think it should come up in a conversation. It don't have to be a whole thing. Y'all don't have to have a triangle table talk and talk about it. But I think it should be discussed.
If you know my moms, I'm telling you. It's that simple. Like
that's really your ace then, if that's the case.
I'm not saying that.
All right, I want to get a little deep with y'all real quick. For this, I think I'm gonna start with the girls. All right, so here's the question. So say for an example, you are at a stage of your life where your career is like your main priority. Do you feel that you should be dating someone intentionally? If you know that, your goal is your number one, like, how do you feel about that? Do you think you should be dating if you're in your selfish stage?
No. If it's my selfish stage, it's all about me right now. So I would rather focus on myself, and then when I'm ready to start dating and I don't want to be selfish, then I'll start dating. But until then, no, I'm just going to focus on myself and my career.
What about you?
I don't know if this really constitutes as dating, but if I'm in my selfish phase, I still have needs and stuff. So I'm gonna, want to have sex with people or someone, and I'm sorry.
I respect the honesty.
It's your
I
truth.
was
That's
being
your truth.
honest.
That's nobody's
Like,
business but yours.
Because I'm on my bag or whatever, cool, and my career is going fine. And yes, I don't want to date anyone because I don't want the extra, headache or whatever comes with dating these people these days. But I still have needs to be met, so I'm not gonna necessarily categorize that as dating. But if my needs are being met and so is my bank account with my career, I'm fine with it. And I'm gonna communicate that because that's something that that person needs to know.
As long as
I don't want to date you. I need that.
Hook up.
Right. So can we? And you're cool. We're all cool.
I think that's actually very respectable, especially if it's something that you're communicating. My answer to the question, I don't think that you should be dating if you're in a selfish stage of your life. There's only one way that it will work, and this is very slim. The only way that situation will work is if the other person is willing to accept that there's only going to be specific times within my day that I'm going to be able to spend this time with you. It's not going to be a spur of the moment, you get some free time or a movie comes out for the weekend, you want to go see it. It's not going to be that kind of relationship. It's going to be, okay, when I have time, we'll spend time together. And if I don't have time, you probably won't see me. And in all honesty, that's not a real relationship. I think that it should be mutual in a relationship. So the whole selfish stage, I think that it's unfair to your partner because you're not able to give them the time and attention that they may need. And that's not even factoring in what type of love language that person has. Maybe they might be a very intimate person. They might want to have you up under them or just chill or whatever. So I don't think that if you are in a selfish stage of your career, I don't think that dating should be number one priority. Like Samara said, if you're fine with just the hooking up, make that known, but don't act like you're going on dates as if you're intentionally set out to date somebody when you don't have the time for it. What do you guys think?
I think that's hella responsible. 100% responsible. It's it's so blatant. If someone's giving you their all and you're picking and choosing when you want that, how grimy does that sound? Logically, And you're well within your right to be selfish. Everyone's well within their right to think about themselves first, right? So at the same time, you got to think about how your selfishness is impeding on other people's lifestyles and their emotions, because that's what leads to I hate that word, that toxic or that it leads to miscommunication. So yeah, that's super responsible to just know where you are and communicate it.
What about you, Kai?
I think I disagree because
all right.
I kind of want my cake and eat it too. So if I'm in the selfish stage and my career and everything is just going boom and boom and that's my focus, I want to date too. I'm gonna do both. And
you have to be mature for that though.
Right. I'm a Gemini, so we kind of wear we got all these different people. So it's I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna get that bag, and I'm also gonna make sure got time for that person. And if I don't have that time for them and they understand like, oh, I know they getting that bag, then this is it. They understand them, we making it work, and then at the end of it, we get married. It might be the same thing. I'm busy at this time of the year, we're in a marriage. I can't say, oh, I ain't got time for you, we married, I can't come home to you.
That's
stuff
true.
Like that. So
Yeah, that's different.
Wait, I wasn't disagreeing. I was just agreeing with her. The whole, like I said, as long as you communicate, he said it right. He's like, I'm gonna get my cake and I'm gonna eat it too. You're selfish. That's what you want to do.
Supposed to be doing.
It's the point of being selfish. No one's gonna share. I'm not sharing my fries with you, bro. Relax.
I don't know. It's like. No, but this is the thing. Like I do agree with what you just said, Kai, and what you were saying as well, Kareem. I do think that, it's possible to still be pursuing a career. I'm just saying specifically for myself, and maybe it's just me. I know how I am when I'm attacking a goal. I know how I am, like, as far as like going towards something with my life. Now, if, like you said, like if I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm where I want to be, but I know there's still more to accomplish. Of course, at some point, that's up to me to say, like, look, I'm gonna have to, still focus on myself, but I still need to be a little bit more realistic. Like if I want to date, I'm gonna have to make a little bit more time. Right. So I think that would have to be the conversation that I have with myself.
I do with myself then now, because I work, I coach, I'm trying to get another job, so I'm with the kids at all like half of the day at night. Mm-hmm. Then I got church, prayer call, so I'm in between. I still find my late night creeps and whatever.
You gotta prioritize your time.
Schedule, time management.
Can I ask a question?
Y'all just want to have sex.
As a woman, how does that realistically look being in your, like, realistically, how does it look being in like your selfish phase and still trying to get your cake and eat it too? Because there's a lot of, like, you say that women are emotional. There's a lot of emotional guys who get attached to women when they're in their selfish phase. So it's like, that's a lot of landmines. Oh, she made the face. So there's a lot of like landmines you guys got to like navigate. So how do you do that?
Samara, you can start since you spoke for it. You can start. You eat your cake, sis. You eat your cake.
I don't want the cake. I'm lactose. No, just kidding. I mean, it's hard. It really is hard because you have to consider the other person's feelings and emotions while, still trying to be selfish with yourself. And ironically enough, in a situation that I was in, I was the person that was like on the back burner. I wasn't even the one that was, choosing selfishness and all this other stuff. But I understood what he was saying and everything. But when I understood what he was saying, I picked up the same energy that he put down and I ran with it. And now I'm on that kind of time. But I say that to say, like, it's not easy, but it's really communication. Like, you have to talk about that with that person or whoever you're doing it with. Like, just talk about it. Just be open.
It was like he agreed.
Right.
So you're saying is like you owe them an explanation.
I do.
No, not that you owe them.
It's not just that you owe them. It's literally the principle of communication. Like, I'm in school. I'm getting my master's right now. Like, I'm working on X, Y, and Z.
But I'm trying to go to Applebee's with you, though.
I don't like 2 for $20. I don't like 2 for $20. Don't compare. I'm sorry. No, but you just need to communicate that. And I feel like when you communicate, you tell people exactly what you're doing and exactly when you plan to have time for them.
Some people can't handle that, though. And that's not the issue. Some people can't handle that.
They get out the kitchen.
Communication is key.
It is.
That is.
Just say that. Just say that. That's it.
It takes away all the confusion.
It does. And just because we're short on time and we got to close out right now, just to close out, I do agree with what you just said, Samira, because to a certain extent, it's like, yes, I'm busy, whatever, blah, 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 but it's up to you to understand that. And if you don't, sucks to say, but like on to the next, or let me just continue to focus on myself now. Yeah, or maybe they'll come around. Some people, maybe they're not used to dealing with somebody who's as busy and who's as sustained. So that may just have to be an adjustment that person has to adapt with. Exactly. But since we're short on time and we're closing out, this was an amazing discussion. Too short if you ask me. But I want to give everybody an opportunity to give you guys their information, their Instagram if y'all want to holler, because this is a single segment. So everybody, the 2 girls to my right and the 2 guys to my left are available. So I'm going to let them give their information and stuff. So we're gonna start with the girls. Kiki, you could give your business information and your.
My business is Fire Frames and Fire Fitness.
You can follow me on Instagram, which is linked. If you are into OnlyFans, you can also follow my OnlyFans.
That's the plug.
Subscribe and send donations. We love donations. Okay. Remember, she's getting her master's. Be generous. Thank you.
You guys already know the podcast page is am_IGrownYet. The website is AmIGrownYet.me. Make sure you guys are following the podcast page and check out the website for all the past episodes and for more updates about what's going on.
My name is Khalif. My Instagram is KingKa_15. I'm also a part of a podcast called Living Single with Friends.
Yes, sir.
We are on Facebook and Instagram live Fridays at 7:30. We're also on Spotify, Anchor, Google, and Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube.
I go by Special K Music on all the social handles, SPECKAY. Music spelled the regular way.
Shout out the album. Don't be humble.
New album out too. So please download
be
that.
humble.
You know, Sally Mae is coming for them payments, so I gotta
Thank God, dude.
have to get them things paid back.
Also, we're on TikTok. You can see me act a fool.
But big shout out to my panelists today. Even bigger shout out to the man in charge of production, C1 Photography. Make sure you guys check out the studio. I'm going to make sure all the information is linked down below. But stay tuned. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this video and this profile. And we'll be seeing you in the next video. Deuces.